Fairview's coffee has mysteriously gone missing. Mayhem ensues when strange, coffee-craving zombies plague the city. Detective Mickey Potatoes, an overworked public servant, uncovers why ordinary citizens are losing their minds and how to stop the coffee apocalypse. But it involves the mafia. And when you're dealing with mafia crime families, nothing is ever easy. The mafia controls everything in the city, including the police, including him. If he breaks the mafia, they will break him. So, the city is without coffee. The city is burning before his very eyes, but he's powerless. Detective Potatoes has the power to stop the coffee apocalypse, but if he does, he could lose everything.
First world, come in and take a seat. Pay us no attention, it's all conspiracy. We have satire and parody, some funny, some perverse. If none of it's offensive to you, you'd be the first.
The Immortal Mask, a 1970s superhero crime noir adventure that follows a retired soldier who is given a covenant interview with a death row inmate. What he learns from the interview thrusts him into Atlanta's shadowy underworld. He'll have to utilize his military training to survive from being hunted for the information that could topple the most powerful ruling class in the city. This is not a pre-order or a crowdfunding campaign. Get your books now at Nunneley.com.
Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Fan Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
Hello Kickstarter, I am Todd Black and I'm here once again for another issue of Tokyo Blade Detectives. For those of you who have never heard of this series before, Tokyo Blade Detectives is an anime-style comic set 200 years into the future, where guns are outlawed and only the blade can rule. Laser blades, that is. This Kickstarter is for issue number 7, which is the conclusion of our second arc known as The Contract. In it, our main character Miko, along with Michio, has been fighting off some assassins who are trying to kill off one of their clients. And in this issue, you're going to have big action, some surprises, a new character reveal, and a reference to a beloved anime. As always, we try and offer all kinds of rewards for you to partake in. If you are new to Tokyo Blade Detectives, you can get the digital or physical versions of every single issue we've made so far. So you can get Tokyo 1 through 7 through this Kickstarter. You can also get other comics that I have made. You can get put into our thank you section at the beginning of the book. You can get drawn into the comic, and you can have me help you make comics. So please check out all your options in the rewards section. And as always, please just pledge what you can. If you can pledge $1, thank you. If you can pledge $5, thank you. 10 or above, whatever you can do, we appreciate. And if you can't pledge, that's totally fine. Please just spread the word. You might know someone who might like an anime comic. And I promise you, this is a really cool series. I love every issue we make, and this one's going to be really, really fun. So, please, check out the preview pages below. Check out the reward options for you, and I hope you'll support our comic. Thanks for everything, and welcome to Tokyo.
"25 seconds to curtain, folks."
Your favorite podcast is Critical Blast.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Todd Black. Todd, welcome back to the show, man. I want to do something here, man, because it's hot here, but nevertheless, I want to find a way where I can trade you my beard for your hair.
Pass.
Oh, you sure?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Your beard is magnificent, but this photo is all I have.
Oh, no. Oh, young man, you have so much more still to go.
It's nice to dream. So.
Yes. Keep it while you can. Don't trade it for nothing. So we're back with issue number 7 of, and I feel like there should be like speed lines or something where I should be like, Tokyo Blade Detectives! And just have like, I need to have a quirk or I don't know what that music is called. I'm sure they have special sound effects where it's like, it sounds like a sword being pulled out in an echo chamber.
That was pretty good.
I've watched a fair share of, anime in my life.
As you should.
Not a ton, but enough to get the memes. Got a halfway full chat out here tonight. Mike Walters has popped in to like and share the live stream. Do appreciate that. And want to remind everyone, top of the hour, we're done. Go over there to the mic stand and get your niche news of the day. Jay Exner is here with his mind blown. And I don't know which trailer it was that did that, but watch for the campaign then. And
what if he was blown away by my hair? Both options could be true.
Both could be true. Absolutely. And Pops is here, which is no surprise since we are simulcasting tonight on the Madness Comic Network. So he is always sitting in the back room whenever we're online doing that, just to, see if he needs to pop in and rein me in or help me out. Whatever he decides it has to do, it's his network, so he can do that. And he has very graciously put the link for Tokyo Blade Detective 7 here in the chat. For those of you who have not looked below the video, where the link also sits, the entire video and its entire life. So if you're watching this on replay and what you see on here starts to interest you, click on it. It'll open in a new window. You'll still get to listen to every magical word Todd has to say while you're picking which tier you want to have collected and sent to your home. That being said, Todd, what the hell is Tokyo Blade Detectives? I know you told me last time, but I'm doing this for them.
I also told it in the video. But
I know. Show's over, really. I mean, once the video's done, we've seen.
True.
You told us everything.
All right. So Tokyo Blade Detectives is, like I said, is an anime style comic set 200 years into the future, where the country's been burned to the ground by war, rebuilt with technology, and to try and stem the madness, they make a law that no one can break. No guns allowed. But this creates a power vacuum, and it becomes filled with laser swords, which gives rise to 5 factions that are trying to overtake the government. Tokyo is in perpetual state of chaos, and a 16-year-old detective named Miko is just trying to survive it all. When she gets a case, it's going to change everything.
Now, see, that's the thing that makes Japanese anime stuff fun. That phrase you threw out there, 16-year-old detective. Yeah. Because when I was 16, that was a career goal, you know. Well, I mean, when I was 16, superhero was, still a viable option. Just hadn't figured out how to pull it off yet.
I know a guy who has gamma radiation. I can help you.
I might still be working on that, but I can't say anything online because when it happens, they'll trace it to me. This isn't live yet, is it? Oh dear. So yeah, I mean, so I'm going to have to go out on a limb and guess that whatever the great disaster was, it was gun related, because otherwise, why else would they have come together and said, you know what? Yeah, no more of those things.
Well, I can tell you this. I mean, we're not going to learn the full story of Japan in my version of Japan for a while, but basically there were many wars. We actually hint at them in the very first page of the comic, where Michio, as we find out, writes an old school scroll about what happened, and there was a world war, there was a civil war, and it just left Japan in ruins. And they felt that the technology of the guns was just so powerful and so destructive that this is the way we stop it. We can, if we
even though Japan's really got a lot more to worry about with things that come from the sky, if history is any judge. But
but in this version, remember, anime, so alternate version of history. So, but yeah, they just decide, guns have to be the problem. Like, guns are what we can get rid of, and so they do. And they even, and I can't spoil this part, but they have a way to make sure that no one uses a gun, and it's actually quite.
I was going to say, it's the old saying is, when guns are outlawed, only outlaws will have guns. So if somebody knows how it works,
they have a foolproof way of making sure that no one uses a gun and gets away with it for long. So, well,
for me, the foolproof way is the fact that they got laser swords, because it's a whole lot more fun to kill somebody with one of those than
this is true.
Shoot them with a gun.
Yeah, and you might think, well, wait a minute, isn't laser swords its own problem? Well, yes and no. Yes, most people can get a laser sword in this version of Japan, but it's a personal weapon. So it's not like a gun where I can aim it and kill you at a long distance. If I'm trying to kill you with a laser sword, I have to be up close. So it's a lesser danger, as ironic as it sounds. So.
You will definitely be witnessed in the act.
Witness me.
As crowded as Japan is, there's no doing this from. It's not like you're just gonna turn on your laser sword, turn the hilt over, and just chuck it like a spear down from the top of it. Maybe you could. I don't know.
You technically could, but then you lose your sword. And if you, what happens if you miss?
Well, that brings up a whole Rick and Morty situation, where if you have a laser sword and you miss and it goes straight down, does it keep going until it hits the center of the earth?
Technically, no, because if you look at my laser swords, and I know why you're thinking about this because of a lightsaber's shape, but in mine, there's an actual hilt. And
that's good.
And so eventually the blade would stop and it would reach the hilt.
Okay. That's because there was a whole Rick and Morty episode where somebody dropped it vertically and it just didn't catch, so it just kept going straight down.
And I could actually top that. Before Rick and Morty did it, you ever hear of Robot Chicken?
Yes.
They did a Star Wars special, and they did a recreation of the Phantom Menace scene where Qui-Gon uses his lightsaber basically as a lockpick, and he goes, "Hold this while I open the door," and he drops it vertically, and then you could just hear it go through every floor, who has a lightsaber? It's so funny.
Yeah, I love those robot chickens. They were very, very subversive. What are the odds? Yeah, I mean, you would have one. Well, yep. You're right, Mike. A lot of people don't like 16-year-olds in the lead, but as a detective, we're not talking, Japan's got a lot of weird stuff. Yeah. This isn't that.
Yeah.
this ain't that thing.
Yeah, and if anything, my version of Miko, or my character, my protagonist, she's just part of the trend, because like how many animes have protagonists between like say 10 and 20 years old? I can name a bunch of them, and this is just
almost all of them.
Almost not all, but pretty close. I mean,
sometimes the way they draw them, it's like, yeah, look, these heroes are on a quest. How old are they? I don't know, 6.
Yeah. I mean,
because they're little chibi things with like the great big eyes, and the great big heads, and like, oh yeah, they're out from kindergarten and they're out slaying dragons.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
So your is what kind of an anime is Tokyo Blade Detective?
Okay, that's a fascinating question, because as I'm sure you know, there are different types of anime. Yeah. So there's ones I like to call power levels, which is like your Dragon Balls, your Naruto's, which is just, we're going on a quest, we're going to keep fighting bad guys to get perpetually stronger. Then you have like what I like to call the fantastical ones. Not like an isekai is a great example. An isekai is its own genre of anime, where it's, person gets pulled from one world, thrown into another. Mine is more or less alternate history, a bit of cyberpunk. It's meant to be grounded in reality, which is not something you often hear with anime, but there are a few that do that.
Yeah. So she's not a magical girl.
No, that's another great anime genre. But everything in Tokyo Blade Detectives can be explained with technology. Like that was my hard line premise, was that everything in Japan has been rebuilt, reconstructed, and designed to be based on the technology they have. And sometimes their technology is so incredible, you think you're looking at something mystical or magical, but it's not. It's all technology. It's just how you use it. So
that's the old Arthur C. Clarke adage, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, in issue number 2, we meet a group called the Tao, who are a religious sect of Japan. And here we go. Oh, this pops. I've read the first 6 books. The interaction between the rotten kid and the old man is priceless. That is a very interesting way of describing a pops, but I'm grateful. But yeah, go back to the Tao. They're a religious group, and they use their technology to create illusions to make you think that they have like godly powers, but they're not. They're just using their technology in a very specific way. So, and that gives me
everything's technological, but there are still people who are stupid.
Oh, there's always stupid people. I mean, that doesn't matter if you're anime, fantasy, sci-fi, reality show. There's always stupid people. Though no amount of laws can stop that.
Why can't we outlaw stupidity and find a foolproof way to keep people from being stupid? That would be great.
If you can find it a way, I will vote for you for president.
So Mike is asking if your alternative history universe is something akin to Le Chevalier d'Eon. Oh,
I am unfamiliar with that one, Mike.
I didn't know there was French anime, but
there animes. Anime's eternal, and I've seen French animes. Code Lyoko was made by a French studio. I've seen Korean animes. I definitely know there's Chinese animes, and then of course there's American anime with like Legend of Korra and Ruby. So
yeah, and I got some manhwa, but I thought like French was like bande dessinée or something. Getting rid of warning labels. Yes, because if we get rid of the warning labels on stuff, the stupid people will take themselves out.
I know I shouldn't laugh at that, but that's funny. I'm sorry.
Well, this goes way back now to like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and the first book when this guy builds an asylum for the world, and all he does is he builds a tiny little house, but the aluminum siding and the trellises and everything are on the inside of it, and that's where he lives on this patch of grass, and then the rest of the world is in the asylum that he built for them. It's an inside-out house. But he said he realized the world needed it when he sat down for dinner and afterwards opened up a box of toothpicks to take one out and saw on the side of it directions for use. He's like, when the world needs directions on how to use a toothpick, it's over.
Yeah. And to all you idiots who are about to die, so long, and thanks for all the fish.
Yes. That was a classic book that went on. And as with most classic things, it went on too long.
It happens.
Yeah. Two books was plenty. I think he had a contract for 3. And he's like, oh crap, I got to crank out another one. Okay, let's see what we can do. Yes. 42, the ultimate answer to the ultimate question. We just had to figure out what that is. Apparently, Le Chevalier Dion is Japanese anime, takes a supernatural take on the real-life person, Dion de Beaumont, who was in the service of King Louis XIV. That is definitely alternate world stuff, but...
Okay. To answer your question, now that I have a little more context, maybe not exactly. I mean, mine's not based on anyone in particular. Like, Miko is not based on anyone, but it is definitely an alternate version of history where I said it's like, 200 years in the future where this could happen. Yeah. It's just, a lot of factors need to fall into place between technology, wars, and everything else.
That hasn't happened yet.
Exactly. So this is just one of many potential futures that anime has tried to predict for us.
So where are we at in the story so far then?
Okay.
You've given major plot. Now bring it down home where the book is.
So we're in number 7. We are in the second arc known as The Contract. And it's here we meet one of the 5 factions known as the Nine Tails, who are the legendary assassins of Japan. They are so good that they are required by their own contracts to kill the target or else. And by or else, I mean they die. That is the only way they can get out of the contract, or so we're told. And Miko and Michio get hired by a client he finds out he's being targeted by the assassins, and no sooner do they get onto the job than the assassin strikes, and issues 5, 6, and now 7 are dealing with the fight and ramifications of it all. With issue number 6, we ended it by introducing the leader of the Nine Tails named Rika, who is on the cover of number 7. And she and Michio have a unique history that we actually show off in the Kickstarter via the first 5 preview pages. And we wrap up the mission, as it were, in this issue. And there's going to be some really fun action, a new character that I can't wait to show off, and a reference to Akira. And I'm sure you know exactly what I am talking about.
There's going to be a motorcycle slide.
There's going to be a motorcycle slide. And
that's the only reference to Akira anyone does, though. Well, unless you're Todd McFarlane, then you just swipe a panel and throw it in a Batman book. But, that's...
Yeah. But yes, we do have a motorcycle slide. I actually can tell you the page is done, and it looks beautiful. So, yeah. But
So why manga? Why...
Well, I'm going to be clear. Mine isn't technically manga. Manga is black and white, and you read it right to left. Mine is...
But the first 5 pages can be color.
This is true. That is weird that they do that. I'm not going to lie. And I've seen that done in many mangas. But no, this is my interpretation of a comic style anime. So that's why, you read left to right, and it's got color and all the pages.
Western manga.
Yeah, it's a Western manga. Again, like Legend of Korra, Avatar, Alice Airbender, right. Ruby, that kind of thing. For me, it's because I grew up on anime, and in many ways, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball, Outlaw Star, which is my favorite. And I've watched a lot of anime in recent years, thanks to things like Hulu. But there's just something about it where you can have these unique stories and these unique worlds that you really can't do in basic comics without making it feel truly stereotypical in certain ways. And I've done, sci-fi fantasy and superheroes and everything, but there was just something about when I discovered the name of Tokyo Blade Detectives, which is its own unique origin story. Like, how can I build upon what these great animes of the past have done and these great mangas of the past, and create my own unique story, which is often how I make my story ideas. And as it just came together with the art, Lon Bouvan's my interior artist. He does great work, and the stories and the concepts I came up with, there was just so much potential to be had that I would have been foolish not to do it. So, and it's just something different. I know you've seen some of my work, RJ, but I've done all sorts of genres, and anime is its own genre, and I love diving into all these different genres so I can appeal to all these different people. And I know there are anime fans out there, hopefully some watching your show right now, and it's just a different kind of story, and it gives me a different set of tools to work with, and new restrictions and new ways to think about things. And that's what I love as a writer, is a challenge where I go, can I write this kind of story? Can I write this kind of story? Can I write this kind of character? And so on and so forth. It's great.
So the reception, I'm going to have to guess, is good enough to keep going, because you're on number 7 now. And
yeah.
I'm just like, that's That's 6 issues more than 90% of the people who enter the independent comics market get.
And I'm honored. I'm honored every time we get funded. And as it stands right now, Tokyo Blade Detectives #7 has reached its funding goal with about 9 days to go. So now we're just pushing. I want to try and get close to 100 backers. So here we are. Ooh, we're at 66. That's more backer than I had before I came on.
Well, wait, are you sure?
Yes.
Because well then we have an event.
Maybe
we have an event.
Maybe
this is what we call our shake and bake moment. Have you seen our shake and bake moment?
Shake and bake.
Yeah, it goes something like
It's shake and bake, and I help.
So whoever it was in the chat watching the show who helped this campaign, thank you. That moment was dedicated to you. We appreciate you jumping in. It could have come from somewhere else entirely, but if it happened during this 1 hour block, we're claiming the credit.
Okay. Okay, I cannot confirm this is one of your people, but if your name is Wesley Lathan, I thank you. And if not,
thank you, Leslie.
But thank you anyway.
Leslie. You've done more than hit goal. You're about to hit 200% of the goal here.
Getting there.
You're halfway past goal to 200% of goal.
Yes.
So 750 was a pretty low goal. Is that honestly enough to make this thing?
Okay. No, but there's context here. When I was doing like my earlier Kickstarters, like Home or 10,000 Miles, I was basically living paycheck to paycheck. And so all of the Kickstarter money was going into making the comic. I am in a better financial situation right now, so I can afford to front basically half the money, if not more, myself. And then the rest of the money from the Kickstarter goes into finishing the comic and shipping goals. So it takes pressure off of me, because that way I don't have to have like, 1,500, 2,000 every single time, which can be difficult to do. And it shows my commitment that I'm willing to put in my own money to help finish the comic, so that someone out there will go, oh, he's not just relying on us. He's actually, doing the work himself and with his team, which is something I feel is important for me. So, and I'm lucky. I really am. I have some good jobs that are allowing me to make as many comics as I am. And I've got more RJ in the works besides Tokyo right now, so some of the money's going to that. But
we'll have to discuss those as we get past here. So in true manga style, I'm going to assume this is a metaphor cover. We don't really have a giant walking the land who's holding them in his hand.
Well, technology, anything is possible. I mean, look at like Ant-Man.
Okay, never mind. I stand corrected.
But yes, this is our newest villain, Rika, leader of the Nine Tails, and she basically does have Miko and Misha in the palm of her hands, because they didn't expect her to show up at the end of issue #6, and now she's here. It's like Now,
and you said the Nine Tails, of course, for people who don't know, that's important in Japanese mythology. The fox with 9 tails is a magical creature. I don't know what it means, but I know it means something.
It's one of the legendary yokai, the monsters of Japanese folklore. They've been interpreted many different ways. Like, for example, in Naruto, which is my direct reference, but there's also a Nine Tails in Pokemon and certain other places. It's depending on the story, it's either a good creature or a bad one. Sometimes a trickster, sometimes a menace. So, as in all things, it's all about the story.
It makes me wonder if there's like, middle grades, like, oh, that's only a 5-tail. Don't worry about that one.
Well, actually, in the Nine Tails, just my group, they refer to each other by their tails, if you will. And the 9th tail is the lowest rank, whereas the first tail, which is Rika, is the highest rank. If you're the first tail, you're the boss and you're the best assassin in Japan. And their color of their armor changes based on where their ranking is. So black is the lowest rank, and then golden, like the 9-tailed fox of Naruto, among other places, is the highest rank, to show that you are the best. So,
and you introduce them here, and I'm not going to read this, but people can read the lettering on their own if they will click and go through. This is Rika. Looks like she is getting someone to join the ranks.
Close. Rika is actually the woman in the final panel. This is we revealed this is a flashback scene. This is when she herself is being inducted into the Nine Tails, and so it shows that she started at the bottom and she worked her way to the top. That's how good she is.
I like the look of the armor.
I love the armor.
It's very kind of reminds me of some of the Battle of the Planets bad guy armor.
Ooh, nice reference.
You got these useless horns that stick up out the top. It's like, unless you're going to headbutt somebody, that's just for scary effect.
Well, ironically, that's actually the second version of the armor. If you look at the original cover for Tokyo Blade Detectives, which isn't on the page, but we had a different look for the armor, and it was when I had a good concept artist, but it just didn't feel right. So when we got to show Rika at the end of issue number 4 for the first time, I went to Lom and I'm like, hey, look, here's how the armor kind of looks. I'm not really digging it. So could you give me like an evolved form? And these are the designs he came up with, and I absolutely love them.
Now you are working with another artist. This is you do the writing and then somebody else interprets it.
Yes, Lam Vuvan from Vietnam is my interior artist, and Alex Garcia is the one who does the covers, like the Rika and the characters in the palm of her hand pick. They're really, really good. They're incredibly detailed, and Lam can do really creepy stuff like that cybernetic eyes picture.
Yeah, that's like, okay, something happened to her.
Oh, we're going to find out really soon.
Because this is like the look. This is take me back to bad memories of Shazam, Fury of the Gods here. When she would whisper into somebody's ear, and then their eyes would just kind of like grow black veins, and they'd go nuts and kill somebody. And
ironically, my inspiration for that panel was not DC but Marvel with Caecilius from the Doctor Strange movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was like, do that, but with cybernetics. And he goes, okay.
Yeah. So she's got cybernetic eyes.
Yes.
She's top of the line killer.
Mm-hmm.
One can only guess that you get there by killing the person who was there before you.
There are certain ways, but that's not what she did.
Okay. And okay, if you would just read further, RJ,
yeah.
she's.
I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to say.
He killed my master.
Yeah.
Scroll
down. How the master got killed.
Yeah. My name is Rika. You killed my master. Prepare to die.
That's literally her motivation.
So she must have really been devoted to the master.
Yep. And that's how she loses her eyes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that.
I see that.
Oh, she doesn't. She doesn't. Not anymore.
Oh.
So this is so this brings us back to the scene with Rika and the detectives, and this is your protagonist. I don't know if I'm circling it with my mouse, but I don't know if my mouse is actually getting shared. So the little lady with the big ponytails.
Yes, that's Miko, and then beside her is her business partner Michio, and they're the two who run Tokyo Blade Detectives agency. And she's a little spitfire, and he's the guy, wise old man who puts up with her.
Okay, so so they're detectives, but it's a detective agency. They're not like a ranking detective in a police department.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they've been hired onto this case by somebody for some reason?
Yes. As I noted, they are hired by a businessman who is who finds out he's being targeted by the Nine Tails, and he finds a loophole to get him out of it, and thus hires them to figure out who put the contract out on him so that he can stop this before it happens. It doesn't work. So
okay. That actually adds a level of more intrigue and interest to me, because if it's I've read and watched too many police procedurals, but a good Shamus tale now. Okay, I'm in again.
Yeah. And someone asked me recently, like, Todd, where are all the police in Tokyo? Who said there are any?
There gotta be.
I mean, there are, but there aren't. It's a complicated thing that we'll be talking about eventually, but let's just say there's a reason why Tokyo is so lawless, and part of the reason is that the police force isn't there like they should be. So
okay, yeah. And this is the climactic chapter of the contract.
Yes.
Does that mean everything's wrapped up here, or does that mean it's just a different cliffhanger, a new story arc is launching?
Well, yes and yes. This issue right here will end the arc. However, if you recall the first volume of Tokyo, we have a fourth chapter in the end of every story I like to call the interlude saga, which is basically a epilogue, interlude, and prequel to the next arc. So the final page of number 7 will end the story And then the next issue, issue 8, will wrap up volume 2, where we'll talk about the fallout and then set up what comes next. So
So is this like a time
okay,
time loop?
this is something very special that I'm working on right now. I want nothing more than for Tokyo Blade Detectives to become an actual anime.
Oh, we gotta play this.
Okay, go ahead. And this is the storyboards for a trailer, an anime style trailer that we're trying to make. And I have an animator potentially right now. And this was the first step into getting this animated trailer done. I already have a music guy ready in the wings, and we're just trying to get the animation stuff going. But if this works the way I want it to, this will feel just like an anime style intro, and it's so cool.
Let's check it out.
So there's no sound, so you don't have to worry about that. But
okay,
yeah. So this was such a joy to like write and then work with the storyboard guy. His name was Dana, and
this is nice.
I know this is so good. He is so good. And so here we have Miko and Michio, and basically my idea with this was this needs to feel like an anime style intro where we meet the heroes, we meet the villains, and we get like all these cool action beats to really just get you excited. And if this renders even half as coolly as this storyboard it shows, it's gonna be absolutely dope. So
she can fly.
She can fly. Miko can fly.
You got butterfly backpack.
Yeah. That's another part of the technology thing. Is like you can customize your clothing to do what you want, and hers is she wanted butterfly wings. So
okay, so here's a question.
Go ahead.
Because this is true in all anime.
Yes.
Whatever your power or whatever your weapon is, it will not work unless you loudly announce its name before deploying it.
Mika doesn't do anything loud.
She's falling. When she's falling off that building, does she go, butterfly wings, and they pop out and she flies, or does
she would find that so dang cheesy that she'd die of embarrassment.
But you know what I'm talking about, though.
I know what you're talking about. Like the Power Rangers thing, it's morphin time, Mastodon, that kind of thing. Or Naruto, where they have to say like Shadow Clone Jutsu, that kind of thing. No, for Miko, she just activates it. It's part of her clothing, so it straight up activates, and that's perfectly fine for her.
I like it.
Thanks.
Of course we got this
And I again going back to the storyboards really quick. Like that is like one part of my dream. If I can get this trailer done, which I'm really hoping that this animator I've hired will do good work, but if it does, then I would love nothing more than to make like more trailers along that line to show it off, highlight key moments from the arcs, and maybe reach a studio and go, hey, this comic or this comic anime thing could work, and I'll be like, yes, hire me.
Yeah,
make my thing and like this is like the dream. Like everyone's like, I want to get to a big publisher like DC, Marvel, Image, and I really do. But if I could have one of my comics become like a cartoon or an anime, I mean, dear God.
Like, yeah, that would just to look on the screen and say, I wrote that.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's me. That's me.
That came out of my head.
Yeah.
So folks, for $3, you can get this volume in PDF form. Got the cheapest books.
I try.
Price-wise.
I try. I want to make this fair, for your viewers at home. Like I only have, $3, $5, $10 to spare. Well, here you go, and you can get a lot for that. And then if we could skip that one a little bit. That's just a little bit extra. But if you go down to the $10 one, yeah, that one is perfect for some of your viewers, because if you've never read Tokyo Blade Detectives before, you can get the entire collection, all 7 issues, for $10 digitally
in PDF
form.
That's a great deal, because that's 140 pages of comic right there for $10.
Yep.
That's assuming a 22-page standard book.
It's 20. All my books are 20.
Well, close enough.
No, you were right for 140. And I don't
yeah,
have ads.
I was rounding.
But I want that one because I want to invite people who are just finding out about this series and go, hey, I've never heard this before. Let's give it a shot. And as you can see, we already had a few backers on that front, which I'm very grateful for.
Yes. And you had some on the on some of them on all of the tiers so far. People getting a taste of it.
I want them to.
Of course, the physical copy is where it's at for most collectors.
As you can see, 13 backers.
Yeah, and for $10.
Yeah.
Plus, you get the digital with that as well. That's a $3 value right there. So you're only really paying $7 for the physical.
Yep.
Plus shipping.
Well, shipping only if it's international. If it's stateside, I'll pay for that myself. If it's international, then it's like extra $5 or whatever.
So basically, you're selling your comics for $1.95.
I want to get my comic out there, RJ. I want to make it affordable for people.
Because I ship comics, man, and I know what it costs to ship these things. A single comic is going to be $7 once everything's done.
Yeah, pretty much. So I don't mind. As long as my comic gets out there, I don't mind. This is a popular.
At some point, that's got to end.
I know it'll bite me in the butt eventually, but I want to be the guy that like these are my comics for cheap. I just want you to read them. I'll take the hit. I don't mind. So, all right, this one's very popular. This is our thank you page. We have right in the beginning of the comic a thank you page for Tokyo Blade Detectives, and if you pledge there, you will get your name alongside everyone else who pledged that tier or higher. And a lot of people like that. I honestly don't know why, but I guess I just want to show that, hey, I helped make this comic.
Everybody likes to see their name in print. That's why the letters page was so popular back before the internet killed it in comic books. People would write in, and then they would keep buying that issue to see if their name showed up on the letters page.
Yeah. Marvel still does that on some of them, like Fantastic Four.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not they don't do it for every comic, but for some of them they do.
I don't think anybody writes the letters in anymore. They probably just fill out a feedback page.
Possibly.
But people love to see their name in print, and that's why that happens. And
here's another classic. If you pledge $15 to that tier, you'll get basically every comic series I've ever written, and my now 6 Sherlock Holmes novels that I've written. So
sweet. So that would be Guardians and Home and 10,000 Miles and Sherlock Holmes.
Plus Tokyo, plus another series I have called Thunder Rosa, which is based off a real life wrestler. And I occasionally throw in a few surprises just to, keep things fresh. But that's a lot. I don't even want to do the page number count because I don't want to do the math in my head. But
it's 45 books.
Yeah, pretty much.
$15, 45 books in digital.
Yep.
If you got a empty Kindle and you're going to travel, load it up. You will have more than you need to read at the beach this summer.
And as you can tell from the picture that you have perfectly placed, these are different genres. You have superhero, sci-fi fantasy, Disney Pixar style, Sherlock Holmes mystery novels. We have a wrestling comic, and of course the anime Tokyo. So no matter what genre you like, or maybe you like all these genres, even better. So there you go.
So for $20 here, you're getting the physical 7. And then you're getting the backlog at digital.
No, you're getting just number 7, and then you're getting the digital. This is like if I want the physical, but I like the digital too. And then for $30, as if you want to scroll down really quick.
Hang on a second though, because I thought that's what you got with this one.
No, that's only the digital copy of number 7.
Right. So, plus the digital if you want it.
Right, but with 20, you get everything from the $15 tier.
Right. So for 20, you get a physical of number 7.
Yes.
And you get the digital of 1 through 6 or 1 through 7.
Plus everything from the $15 digital comic collection. So
a lot. You get a lot.
It's a lot.
Taken that one. Maybe they're all as confused as I am.
It's all right. This one is one of 2 rewards where I want to help people make comics. So if you pledge here, which someone already has, I will review your comic script and give you honest feedback based on what I've learned, what my friends have taught me, and I will help it make it so that you are ready to take the next step. So,
you'll still get a physical copy of number 7, folks. You're not just buying a consult here.
Yes,
you're getting a consult as an add-on, so to speak.
Yeah. Now, if you're someone who wants the entire Tokyo collection, but in physical form, that's this one right here. You'll get 1 through 7 physical copies mailed right to you for $30.
You're right at the point now where you'll be considering a trade paperback, I would think.
We already have one for the first volume, 1 through 4, but then once we're done with number 8, that'll be a volume 2. So 4 issues per each volume.
Okay. Are they usually two issue story arcs?
No, it's 3 issues plus the interlude saga.
Okay. Because when you said that, 7 was wrapping up, well, seven's wrapping up an arc, so that would make it 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah, and then
And
number
then-
8 is the interlude, which is the epilogue interlude prequel
Okay.
I could talk about earlier. So
I was not doing math very well in my head.
don't worry about it. We all have those days. All right, here we have easily my most popular tier because it's easily one of the most consistent. You can get drawn into the book.
Yes, who doesn't love that?
A lot of people love it. Like I said, we have 7 of 10 and already filled out. So if you're interested, you got to get it in soon.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I know people who they've got a collection of books where because this is something that a lot of campaigns do, and people seek it out. Like, I can be drawn into this comic and this comic and this comic, and be the Stan Lee of the independent comic universe.
Excelsior!
You just have your cameo and you show up everywhere.
Yeah, I've had people do. Like, I have people who have been in every single issue of Tokyo, even though they. So there's like a bunch of doppelgangers running around. Not that I mind.
Well, you don't get killed in one issue and then you're there again. I mean, you can just say, "Yep, there I am. I live in that neighborhood."
That should be a separate tier. $100, I'll kill you in Tokyo.
Hey, people would buy that.
Oh, I know people who I know at least one person have asked me, can you kill me in your comic? I'm like, do you want to? So,
Yeah.
All right.
When I write a Destroyer novel, I always kill one of my friends in the first chapter.
Nice. All right. This is the second half of the helping you make comics thing.
Yeah.
If you push this tier, I won't just look over your comic script. I will help you with basically every step of the process, from idea conception to you're making your comic in physical form or digital form, I suppose. So I will help you with a script. I'll help you find an artist. I will help you get promotion on it, like with Critical Blast. I will even help you set up your Kickstarter if you want to take that route to get it funded. Whatever it takes to help you make your comic, I will do that.
All right.
Yeah.
And for $150, this is the ultimate collection.
Yes.
Is this physical?
Yes. Basically all my comics, just the comics, all the comics, physical form, mailed right to you.
That's a package and a half, folks. You get 40 comic books for $150. What a sweet deal. Now, does anybody read the risks and challenges? No.
They should.
He might not get funded. Guess what? Already has been. He is at 67.
Oh, someone do the thing. Do the thing.
We got to do the thing. We did it again.
Do the thing.
Did it again. Where's the thing? Is it right here?
It's purely sexual.
No. It just feels like it.
It's shake and bake, and I help.
Yeah.
So
that other one made me feel dirty. I'm not gonna lie, but yes, we got another backer.
Two backers.
All right, I will look up to give a shout out to certain someone.
Pops did that.
Pops
did that.
Okay.
Thank you, Pops.
Okay.
Pops just wanted to see the video again.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna. Pops, I thank you, and I appreciate all you've done for me, including referring me to RJ over here. But if you recall our last conversation, I didn't ask you to pledge because of something you told me. So if this puts you in any jeopardy, you will rescind that pledge. Do you hear me? My comic is not more important than your life.
He'll refund it after the show. No,
it's like, wait, is the show over? Cancel.
He just did it for the sake of the show. No. Pops loves good comics and great comic creators, and
he's a good
stand-up guy when it comes to the creating community, and
yes, he is.
Goes largely unappreciated sometimes.
Yeah.
I appreciate him.
I appreciate the Pops. So
coming up at the top of the hour, is there anything more that we haven't talked about Tokyo Blade Detectives yet that would entice people to get in on this? I mean, you got 16-year-old ponytail girl with a super suit and a plasma blade.
Asia Shard.
Yeah, it's what I would pay money to watch that. I especially love that animatic set you've got there. I want to see that become a thing so badly.
Thank you. I dear gosh, I want that so bad. And I have an animator.
Is that just random scenes, or is that this book?
No, this is like it's like sorry. Like I said, it's gonna be like the anime trailer. So it's like a synopsis of the whole series. So it's basically like this is what you would watch to like really get pumped before you read the book. That kind of thing. So good time.
Right. Well, yeah, because it's so it'd be more like I'm thinking less of a trailer and more of like did you watch the 90s X-Men?
Of course.
Okay, so you remember the opening sequence where it like
course.
spun through all of them doing their power things and the da 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 da.
Yeah, I love
like,
that. That's
an
actually a great
opening scene
reference
for-
to this because we'll see all 5 factions in action. We see Miko and Michio in action.
Yeah. And then
it-
just end with the two of them back to back and pulling their blades, whoosh, and then there's the title right in front of them.
something like that.
Yeah,
But that's basically what we're
fantastic.
going for here is, that thing to kind of like get like, oh my gosh, this looks so cool. I totally got to read the book. So, and to answer your question from before, this is a series that if you love action, we have it. If you like comedy, we have it. If you like deep storylines and characters, we have it. If you just like knowing that there's someone else out there who's a totally angsty teenager who smarts off to everybody and doesn't listen to the elders, we have that. So I love the
Anything
story.
you want, we got it.
Pretty close. And again, it's anime, so anything is possible in this world. So
Absolutely.
I love this series. This was one I had in my head for so long, and to be at issue number 7, so close to the end of volume 2, it's a dream come true. And I'm grateful to everyone who pledges, from Pops to I have family members pledge me for who knows what reasons.
Family members are good for this thing. So
this is true. And again, if you at home are even like slightly intrigued, please consider. Again, we have some really great rewards. They'll fit your budget, and it would mean the world to me because I just like making these stories and getting them out of my head and putting them in your hands to read or on your Kindle. So if you give it a chance, I am grateful. And if you could pledge $1, that's great too. If you can just share it, I love it. It helps.
Yes.
Everything helps.
Yeah, I never ask people to like this video, but I will ask you to share it so that more people can see Todd and his work here, and maybe they will say, hey, I like that book. I want to get in on that. Or maybe they won't, but they'll at least have had the opportunity. So
yes,
that's how social media works. I tell you something, you tell them, and they tell somebody else, and he gets just passed around like the dirty girl at the party.
Not touching that one.
Okay. Well, most people did.
I know. I set myself up. Darn it.
Oh, Todd, thank you so much for coming on tonight, man. It's been a pleasure talking with you about this book again. Everybody in the chat, thank you for being here. We don't have a show without you. We're just a podcast falling in the woods without you being here. And as always, while you were here, we just hope you had a blast. Good night, everybody.